Majesty, be honest with yourself. How many times have you put yourself last on your own list? You take care of everyone, handle 1,000 things, and little by little, you start forgetting about yourself until one day you're hit with a kind of exhaustion that no amount of sleep can fix. We get swallowed up by the routine and start neglecting self-care. But let me remind you of something, Queen. A self-care routine is not a luxury. It's emotional survival. And even with a packed schedule, it's totally possible to have a self-care routine that truly works, one that feels supportive, nourishing, and fits your reality. Today, I'm going to walk you through 6 simple steps to build a personalized self-care plan. Something real, intuitive, and tailor-made just for you. Come with me, because this video is the pause your body and soul have been craving for a long time. 1. Stop giving everything without giving to yourself. There's this silent pressure, almost always unconscious, that hangs over women. The pressure to take care of everything and everyone, and to be great at it all the time. The perfect daughter, the loving partner, the tireless mom, the high-achieving professional. And in this constant giving, self-care becomes a luxury, rare, almost unreachable. We normalize exhaustion, romanticize sacrifice, and call it strength. But deep down, so many of us are silently screaming for help, barely holding it together. And the worst part? Society applauds this kind of burnout. Wow, she handles it all so well, they say. But no one stops to ask, who's taking care of the one who takes care of everything? The truth is, a lot of women are living on autopilot, feeling guilty for wanting to slow down or care for themselves. That's exactly when self-care has to become an act of rebellion. That's where the shift begins. Because, Queen, no one can carry the world on their shoulders without breaking inside eventually. Sooner or later, the body protests, the mind shuts down, the heart goes quiet. Sadness creeps in, and we start losing ourselves, little by little. And no, this isn't being dramatic. That's why creating a real self-care routine is a way back to yourself. It's a reminder that you matter too. It's slowing down. And more than anything, it's reconnecting with you. 2. Understand what real self-care actually is. Self-care isn't just bubble baths, skincare routines, or spontaneous spa days. Sure, those moments can feel nice and definitely have a place in your wellness plan. But real self-care goes much deeper. It's when you pause and ask yourself, honestly, what do I need right now? And sometimes the answer is silence, or saying no without guilt, or just giving yourself a much-needed hug. It's about presence, Queen. It's about tuning into what's really going on inside you. And it needs to be part of your daily life, not just something you do once in a while. The industry tries to sell self-care as a product, but your soul knows it's a practice. And self-care for busy people doesn't have to be complicated. It could mean turning your phone off for 20 minutes, eating a meal sitting down slowly, or just taking a few conscious breaths in the middle of the chaos. The magic lies in the intention, not the pressure. When you listen to yourself, even the smallest gesture becomes a sacred ritual. And it actually works. So before you focus on what you should be doing to take care of yourself, start by listening to what you truly need. Sometimes, self-care is giving yourself permission not to hold it all together. Other times, it's getting up and moving forward. However it looks, it always has to come from a place of self-love. And once we understand that, we begin to see care through a new lens. One that transforms and truly nourishes your emotional well-being. 3. Discover the 5 dimensions of self-care. Real self-care happens across 5 essential dimensions: physical, emotional, mental, social, and spiritual. When we focus only on the body and forget the mind, or only on emotions and forget the spirit, things start to fall apart. It's like trying to balance a table on one leg. It just doesn't hold. And guess what? That's why so many people feel frustrated when they try to practice self-care and don't see results. The physical dimension is about sleep, nourishment, and movement. The emotional one means naming your feelings and holding space for them, without judgment. The mental dimension involves caring for your thoughts, limiting overstimulation. Social self-care is about choosing the right people to share energy with, and knowing when it's time to step away. And the spiritual? That's the one that gives everything meaning, whether through faith, connecting with nature, or practicing inner stillness. So here's a quick pause for reflection. Which of these dimensions have you been neglecting lately? Because if you want to create a personalized self-care plan, you need to know where the imbalance is. And that's exactly what we'll do in the next step, in a simple, practical, and eye-opening way. 4. Reflect on your real needs before creating any kind of plan. You need to ask yourself, what's draining your energy right now? Sometimes it's a routine that demands too much. Other times it's thoughts that go in circles, relationships that only take, or expectations you don't even remember choosing. Just asking this question is already the beginning of self-care. And here's the magic. The answer comes when you stop running from yourself. To get to the heart of it, I like to play a little game I call Quick Think. Here's how it works. Ask yourself what's draining your energy and pay attention to the first thing that pops into your mind before your brain starts to rationalize. That's your current energy thief. Then ask the second question. What truly nourishes you? It could be a calming book, a slow walk, listening to music while staring at the sky. It could be dancing alone, going to therapy, or laughing with a friend. Here's the thing. Wellness for women isn't built on cookie-cutter solutions. It's born from listening deeply to your own needs. You have to know yourself to know how to take care of yourself. And here's a secret. Your needs will change. What nourishes you today might not work tomorrow, and that's okay. That's why your self-care plan needs to be light, flexible, intuitive. And in the next step, I'll show you how to build your own self-care menu, a personal comfort guide you can turn to whenever you need support. 5. Create an intuitive and gentle self-care menu. Imagine having your own personal menu, filled with practices that truly make sense for your life. That's what a self-care menu is, a list of small, doable actions that bring you comfort and well-being at different moments. It's not supposed to become another task on your to-do list. It's meant to be a loving reminder that you have options, even on your hardest days. And the best part, you can create it with ease and kindness. Here's how. Grab a sheet of paper and divide it into 5 columns: physical, emotional, mental, social, and spiritual. Then, under each one, write down simple things that work for you. For example, physical, stretch for a few minutes after waking up. Emotional, write in my journal for 5 minutes. Mental, take a 1-hour social media detox. Social, send a heartfelt voice message to a friend. Spiritual, light a candle and meditate for 3 minutes. See? It's doable. It's real. It's yours. This menu becomes your compass. On good days, it helps you expand your joy. On tough days, it pulls you out of autopilot. Most importantly, it honors who you are and how you feel. Because self-care, for busy people, isn't about checking boxes. It's a reminder that you deserve care too. It's a moment of presence, a practice of love. 6. Break free from limiting beliefs. I don't have time. I feel selfish. I'm not disciplined enough. Have you heard these voices in your head? They sound like absolute truths, but they're really just learned beliefs. Thoughts, and repeated so many times that they started to feel like facts. But here's the truth, Queen. You do have time. It's just being consumed by everything. Except you, and that's not your fault. It's the system that taught you to always come last. But when you take care of yourself, no one loses. Everyone wins, Queen. You become more centered, more present, more alive. Because self-care isn't about taking away from others. It's about stopping the cycle of taking away from yourself. See the difference? So, how about we drop that heavy weight? When we let go of these beliefs, the self-care plan starts to flow. It becomes lighter, more honest. Look at what you've done so far. You paused, you listened to yourself, you reflected, you asked questions. That alone is a revolution. That's healing in motion. You don't need the perfect moment or a whole new version of yourself to begin. Start with what you have, however you can, with courage and kindness toward yourself. The self-care journey isn't about doing more. It's about doing things differently, with more awareness. Putting yourself at the center of your own life is the most powerful act there is. Not as someone who isolates, but as someone who remembers herself. Because when a woman truly cares for herself, she changes the world around her. She vibrates differently. She inspires. She uplifts. And that glow starts with small choices, made with intention, with that quiet yes whispered to herself in the middle of the chaos. So, Queen, how about living with more soul? How about trading autopilot for intuition? The wait for lightness? You don't need a brand new life. You just need to allow yourself to live yours, more fully, more truthfully. If this video touched your heart in any way, tell me in the comments what insight spoke to you the most. And if this conversation made a difference for you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to get more content that nourishes your soul and your daily life. We're just getting started on this journey of care and reconnection. And if you're ready to take gentle action right now, watch the video Self-Care Tips for Busy Women. It's full of practical self-care tips. Quick, real, doable ideas that you can fit into your routine, even when it feels impossible. It's the perfect companion to everything we talked about today. Taking care of yourself isn't a luxury. It's a right. It's power. And you have every right to live with more presence, beauty, and soul. You are amazing, Majesty. I'll see you in the next video.